What's up, everybody? Welcome to the War Room. Rumors and headlines in the pro wrestling world this week. I am your host, MFGDs, and like I always say, we're going to get straight into it. Let's hit that intro. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Once again, this is the true first episode of the War Room with me, MFGDs. And before we get the show kicked off, let's go ahead and shout out the League FFB and Let's Talk Dynasty, where I party with host Andrew Mott, and we talk about a little fantasy football, a little dynasty football, so to speak. And you know what? Let's get your lineup set. Let's get you winning them fantasy football championships. Check out the various social media accounts below. Like, subscribe, follow. We appreciate anything. We trying to build this thing up, and we trying to do the thing. So we're going to get it kicked right off, and let's get straight to it. This is the War Room. All right. So we're going to kick off the big headlines first, then we're going to get to the little headlines. I like to call them the one-offs. So how the show is formatted pretty much is we're going to start by kicking off the rumors and headlines that basically went throughout the week. So you hear multiple stories, just things that happened throughout the entire week. And then we're going to get to those one-off headlines where things kind of just happened and were reported. Our first story we're going to talk about from this past week has to do with none other than Mr. Phil Brooks, CM Punk. All right, beginning of the week, according to his own Instagram post showing Dr. Doom and Iron Man forming a truce, CM Punk may be ready to build a bridge between he and the WWE. But not so fast. According to Dave Meltzer during the week, that for now, WWE has rejected CM Punk. Dave Meltzer also reported later in the week, he doubled down and stated that CM Punk talks with WWE are dead and that it was Triple H and Nick Khan's decision, but primarily, it was Vince McMahon's decision. He then added at the end that while talks are dead, to not completely close the door to the idea of CM Punk in WWE. So, where do I stand as far as what I think is going to happen? Survivor Series is in Chicago. It is in Chicago. And while I think it's unlikely that we're going to see CM Punk at Survivor Series, just like Dave Meltzer said, I don't think we can rule it out completely. I mean, there was a lot of smoke around that fire, and it seems like once a ton of people caught wind, they went ahead and started doing the damage control. Not Bailey, Io, Sky, and Dakota Kai, but we're talking about the actual damage control. Like they went back, they tried to make sure that everything was on the up and up, and that they're not really revealing potential secret debuts or re-debuts or whatever we're gonna call it. I don't think it's likely to happen, but once again, I wouldn't rule it out. CM Punk burnt pretty much every bridge he had, so I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to go back to WWE. The people in charge of WWE don't let at the very top, don't necessarily, and we're talking about Ariel Emanuel. I don't think he has a relationship with CM Punk, but he does have a relationship with money, and CM Punk is a draw, so we're gonna see how that plays off. All right. Our second big story of this past week involves WWE's power structure. WWE's power structure. Early in the week, according to PW Insider, Triple H is in complete control of creative and has been knighted by Endeavor, TKO. Then, according to Fightful Select, outside of the post-Mania Raw, Vince hasn't even been seen backstage. And when changes have been made, it's been done so remotely. And finally, according to Dave Meltzer, he further confirmed that Triple H is indeed 100% in charge, and he did that. Dave Meltzer reported that in the Wrestling Observer. I think that's great news. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'll tell you, when me, Petey Stunt, and the young lion Ty Fulton, when we were on the way back from going to see WrestleMania at SoFi, it was just a cloud of WWE sold to TK. It was just a cloud of like being upset. I mean, that's the best way I put it. I don't want to say depression, but being upset. Cody just lost to Roman. We all thought he was going to win. Then WWE sales to merge. They become TKO. It just sucks, man. And there was true concern that Vince was back. Reports actually came out that Vince was back and that he was about to be doing what he does best and fucking up a good thing. Let's just call it what it is. But hearing that Triple H is in full control, now that kind of explains why we've seen so many NXT darlings on Monday Night Raw. The Candice LeRae's, the Indy Hartwells, Gargano, Ciampa, Tegan Knox. We've seen so many. And so I'm hoping that we really do start to see more done with these NXT wrestlers. I really hope that they're going to retell the story of DIY. I think that would be amazing. We need to somehow get at least one half of those tag team championships around their waist, or at least Imperium, somebody. Man, you guys know how I feel about single stars forming teams and becoming the tag team champion. I mean, pretty much that's what killed the tag team division. All right. Our next story. Oh man, this is gonna be a doozy. I gotta steel myself for this one, because if you watched last night's live stream of Fire Me to Trash, this next one, I promise I'm gonna try my best to keep my profanity at a minimum. Our next big story has to do with Tony Kahn. Tony Kahn. So earlier this week, when responding to a fan on Twitter or X or whatever we're going to call it, Tony Khan took shots at Vince's misconduct scandal again. But then following AEW losing the ratings battle in the Tuesday Night War, Tony Khan responded to another fan and took more shots at Vince McMahon's conduct again. Then, in responding to an AI image of Shawn Michaels as the Booker of the Year, Tony Khan stated that this past NXT, you know, the one with Cena, The Undertaker, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, the big stars, Tony Khan said that episode of NXT, you know, the one I called NXT Mania in our Fire Me to Trash video, that NXT blew any chance of Shawn Michaels winning a Booker of the Year award. Just hold on. Let me get through the news. Next, or I don't know, in no particular order. I'm not sure what order this was in. Tony referred to Triple H and Shawn Michaels as bald, bastards in another tweet. And then, after getting his ass kicked in the ratings war on Tuesday, Tony tweeted something that just completely didn't make any fucking sense. He said that a 2-decade-long streak was ended. He was implying that because WWE went head-to-head with AEW on Tuesday, a show with Cena and The Undertaker was held under 1 million viewers. And that's just me parsing through the actual tweet. I don't have the actual tweet pulled up, but you guys get my drift. And so then this was all followed up on Fightful Select. And they stated that people in AEW were surprised that Tony Khan tweeted out the 1 million viewers tweet. I think we were all surprised. Then Brian Alvarez on the Wrestling Observer Radio stated that people in AEW want Tony Khan to put the phone down and stop tweeting. I think that's very sound advice. And in response, according to Dave Meltzer, Tony's tweets has WWE viewing it as a declaration of war. Oh my God. Where do I even start with this? I went pretty hard on Tony last night. And I don't have the energy to do it 2 days in a row. But I kid you not. It was almost as if Tony Khan snorted some type of narcotic into his nose, got on Twitter, and just started running his mouth. Never mind that maybe Tony was so busy tweeting and snorting that the next day, while Juice Robinson Bullet Club were making anti-Semitic jokes at the expense of MJF, which MJF later had to go on some type of speaking tour to clear it up. They say it was MJF's idea, whatever. He was too busy. Tony Khan was too busy taking care, worrying about what WWE got going on in their house instead of worrying about what the fuck was going on in his house. In his house. Getting shit, having shit done that could get him in trouble with the network. Would any of us be surprised if next week we don't hear something about how the networks are upset that Tony Khan allowed the anti-Semitic joke to take place on Dynamite? I know there's a lot of people who don't have a problem with it, but considering what's going on in the current climate of the world, I think that this is it's always the wrong time to tell those type of jokes, but this is absolutely the wrong time to do it. I mean, come on, read the room. But yeah, Tony Khan needs to get his shit together. I've been saying this since the inception of AEW. Stop worrying about WWE. Stop letting your wrestlers come on TV, bringing up WWE, taking shots at WWE. Stop having MJF come on TV, promoting WWE by suggesting that he might jump to WWE when his contract is up. That's just ass backwards. Every week, AEW has to bring up WWE in some way, shape, or form. And it's pathetic. AEW is doing well enough to not have to lean on bringing up WWE every 5 seconds. And it's all happening under Tony Khan's watch. He's a shitty booker. And the more he tweets, he seems to be an even shittier person. And the whole glossiness of the initial inception of AEW, where it just seems like Tony Khan's the perfect boss and this, that, and the third, and he's a nice guy and blah, 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 blah. That shit is worn off. That shit is over and dead with. Tony Khan got issues. I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Khan has make a big mistake soon and say, oh, I have to go to rehab, because that's what rich people do when they fuck up. They say, I'm going to rehab. It's all right. I'm going to rehab. So the way he was tweeting, man, he seemed like he needs to be in rehab. So that was pretty much our last big story for this past week. So now let's talk about these one-offs. All right. According to Fightful Select, this week, they said that Odyssey Jones might be joining Bobby Lashley's stable. I don't see it. In fact, I don't see Odyssey Jones. I never see Odyssey Jones. The guy got called up. I haven't seen him on the main roster one time. I don't know why he was called up. And that's not me talking about his abilities in the ring. He's a big guy. He can wrestle, but they haven't done anything. If Odyssey Jones just pops up, I mean, they could just have him pop up as a monster heel and help the Street Profits win a match or something like that. But man, I don't see it, man. It's a reason why they haven't had Odyssey Jones on TV. They said he's been wrestling dark matches, but I don't see it, and I'm not 100% sure that it makes a ton of sense to even have Odyssey Jones become a member of Bobby Lashley's stable. All right, our next story. According to PWE, WWE may bring back the Wyatt Six as a tribute to the late Bray Wyatt. The late, great Bray Wyatt, stating that all parties have agreed to the idea, and it's only a matter of time before it happens. I really want to see it. I just have one thing. Please make sure you do this man's name justice after his passing. Please do not whore out this story. Do not make the story dumb. Do whatever you have to do to make that story work, man. Honor this man's legacy. Just don't fuck it up, please. Just don't fuck it up, because none of the fans want to see that, and that's not right for Bray Wyatt. Just make sure you do it right, man. Knock the shit out of the park if y'all gonna do it. Next, according to Ringside News, Karrion Kross might be getting a push with Triple H in charge of creative. We've seen it before. We've heard it before. I don't see it. This would be like the third time Karrion Kross is getting pushed and it's not working. Could it work? He has the look. I'm fine with his abilities on the mic. It's just that I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. For right now, Karrion Kross getting a push, I don't think that's going to happen. Next, again, according to Ringside News, Bobby Roode has been moved from the active roster to a backstage producer. Great idea. The guy has a wealth of professional wrestling knowledge, and they can only benefit from having him backstage as a producer. I would prefer to see him in the ring, but I understand if there's injuries involved, if there's like age-related stuff involved. I hope they're not forcing him to be a producer, or be let go. Man, I really wish that we could have seen more of that Bobby Roode we've seen in NXT on the main roster, but it just didn't pan out. And but having him as a producer is definitely an asset backstage. Next, according to Ronda Rousey herself, she may be retired because of an Instagram post. She said, and I quote, "Sorry, couldn't hear you through my retirement." Would I be surprised if Ronda is really retired? No. Would I be surprised if Ronda is trolling? No. I mean, I think she's trolling. I mean, she's trolled before. If she's retired, I'm not surprised. It seems like, just from what I've read over the years, that fans booing her has bothered her. Other women backstage have bothered her. Women in the locker room have bothered her. The way she's booked bothers her. She might just be over it, to be honest. I like Ronda Rousey. I love to see her in the ring. I know some other fans don't feel like that. You know, that's their opinion. They have a right to have it. But I'm going to miss her in the ring if she's retired. And if she's trolling, I'll be happy when she gets back. Our next story. In an appearance with Bloomberg, Ariel Emanuel, that's the CEO of Endeavor, and TKO stated that pretty much Raw is fair game for any day of the week. I'm assuming except Friday. Tony Khan is probably pissing in his pants, worried that they're going to move Raw to Wednesday. I imagine that if Tony Khan is smart, if they move Raw to Wednesday, they better move Dynamite to like Thursday. I'm sorry, Impact, but that might just be the move. Tony Khan, do not try to go head to head with Monday Night Raw. That would not be smart, especially right now when y'all are pretty much on the losing end of this thing with WWE. All right, so in our last story for this week, Sean Ross Sapp at Fightful is reporting that we may see the return of Mr. Randall Keith Orton at Survivor Series. And oh man, I've been waiting so long for Randy to come back. I'm super excited for Randy to come back. Unfortunately, Matt Riddle is such a fuck up that I'm not going to get to see him turn on Matt Riddle, which I feel like I've been waiting a year for. But Matt's no longer with the WWE, so I'm not going to get to see that betrayal. And yeah, man, welcome back. I hope Randy's fully healed. And I think when he gets back, fans really need to appreciate him being there, because this might be his final run with the company in wrestling, period. I don't think he's going to go anywhere else. But yeah, that's it for this week episode of the War Room, Pro Wrestling Rumors and Headlines. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please, please, please follow the social media accounts that you see at the bottom. Please check out myself and Andrew Mott and Let's Talk Dynasty over at the League FFB. Thank you guys so much. We're just getting started. And that's it. I'll see you guys next week. War Room, MFGs, we out.